Hi, and thanks for joining us for this September edition of CPSB-TV. I'm Lily.
And I'm Anastasia. Here's what's coming your way in today's show. From new policies to cool new equipment and new faces on campus, we will show you what's new at College Street Vocational Center this school year.
Plus, a look inside of a couple of classes setting students up for a bright future.
And ever feel like you're running a few steps behind? You'll see a funny student short film that is way too relatable. First, our top story, the biggest change on our campus this school year, student cell phone policies.
Last year, many students might have had free time on their phones or snuck their phones during class, but now that's a thing of the past. We talked to Principal Justin Mahoney and others at College Street about the enforcement of the cell phone policy is going so far.
What we do here is we train students for the workforce. And in the workforce, if you have your cell phone out, you can get fired, you can lose your job. Now that we're one-to-one and every student in the parish has their own laptop provided by the district, I feel that is unnecessary, and it is just another distraction that can be taken out of the classroom.
I feel like it's good. Last year, whenever I had my phone out, I couldn't get off of it.
I was a little apprehensive and a little intimidated. I thought it was going to be really hard to enforce. I thought the kids were not going to be receptive. However, it has worked surprisingly well. The kids are receptive to it. The lessons are not taking us as long because we have complete engagement with the kids, and the level of engagement is very high.
Another change is with the district uniform policy this year. Something that affects all students is the addition of jeans to the dress code. At some schools like Barb and Sulphur High, hoodies are not allowed. Here's what students had to say about the changes.
I think it's a good change except for the hoodies. A lot of people buy hoodies instead of jackets because hoodies is a fashion statement, you know what I mean?
I personally like the jeans, but the hoodies I feel like they could be less strict on. I feel like it should be fine as long as they're school appropriate.
Honestly, I couldn't care less. The way I see it, if I have something I need to carry in my pockets, it's right there. I can't carry it normally. I've got a backpack. Everything that I need, it's right where I need it. Can more easily put a backpack around. Plus it means if I don't want the weight on me, I just gotta take it off.
If you're not in compliance with the dress code, you can expect a not so fashionable discipline write-up.
From the football field to the basketball court and every other sports sideline, athletic trainers help to keep our young athletes in the game and healthy. CPSB-TV reporter Jacob Jewell shows us how the next round of career athletic trainers are getting top-notch hands-on experience while they're still in high school.
It's Friday night in Southwest Louisiana. And this time of year, that means one thing. Football season is back.
Participating in the sport, it's just a fun environment to be around. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's so fun. I love it so much.
Reagan Dow is a student athletic trainer at Sam Houston High School, a role she's learning in an immersive hands-on sports medicine class at College Street Vocational Center with instructor Alex Dibley.
Hey, Reagan's a great student. She's a hard worker. She's dedicated. She's very smart. She catches on quickly. She's almost always the first to have an answer to a question. She's very eager to learn.
Dibley says nothing is more rewarding as a teacher than to see his students take their classroom learning to the sidelines of practices and games.
I get students not only that are in my class now that I can see grow and get better at what they do, but I see online a lot of times I see former students from a decade ago that were in my class and doing great and wonderful things, and it's really satisfying.
The satisfaction of keeping athletes hydrated, healthy, and equipped to stay in the game is what keeps Reagan motivated for the long hours and hard work of being a student athletic trainer.
On the field, it's very fast-paced. Something's always going on. You're either watching the game, or you're filling up water, or you're taping an ankle, or you're wrapping a wound. Everything's just going. You're never stopping. It's just very go, go, go.
It's in this classroom with fellow student athletic trainers that these students learn how to evaluate injuries, perform CPR, and check vital signs.
Mr. Dibley is an amazing teacher. He really helps you out. It's just a nice environment. You don't ever feel left out. You don't ever feel excluded. It's an amazing environment.
Reagan says this class is already serving as a launchpad to the start of an exciting career and a meaningful place on a team of trainers with the same passion.
Being around my fellow trainers and watching the game from that close, being around all the athletes, all the coaches, I love it so much.
Reporting for CPSB-TV, I'm Jacob Jewell.
The athletic training program is also offered at Sulphur High School. The students interested in pursuing the career professionally typically go to college where they study athletic training, kinesiology, or physical therapy.
One of the really cool new classroom learning tools that students and other medical students on campus have is the Anatomage table. It helps students learn the ins and outs of the human body by studying digital versions of real cadavers. The equipment is being shared at College Street by Christian Parsons' EMS class and Mr. Dibley's Sports Medicine and Allied Health class. Students can move around the layers of the body in real time, truly experiencing hands-on learning.
The technology that we use in this table helps me to teach my kids because it really allows them to visibly see what I'm talking about. So I can stand up here and I'll talk all day long about where the heart is and how the heart interacts, but for the student to be able to actually see the heart in action is something that is invaluable whenever it comes to teaching anatomy specifically.
Seeing it inside the body can help me because it helps me understand each and every part, the heart, the spinal cord, everything else. So in real life situations, I know what to do.
Washington Marion and Sulphur High also have their own Anatomage equipment for nursing and EMS classes.
Let's peek inside another class that is helping prepare students for what's next after high school through hands-on job prep. It's the Jobs for America's Graduates, or JAG class at College Street Vocational Center. We talked to instructor Ramona McCraney about the course and how this class can impact your future.
So JAG is a career readiness class that helps you transition from high school to a university, a college, or going to work full-time. Field trips. You have to attend a college, you have to attend a business, you have to tour it, and you also have to attend the Career Development Conference. This class is also set up where you have a president and 4 vice presidents. So the class is actually student-led, where students get to choose what they want to do in the class.
I'm taking this class because it helps with experience. It allows you to open up with your peers and shows you interviews, how to do interviews with your job.
If you want to join JAG, talk to your homeschool counselor.
Speaking of jobs, mark your calendar for the annual Calcasieu College and Career Fair. It's happening on Monday, October 17th at the McNeese Rec Complex from 6 to 8 p.m. Students in grades 8 through 12 can attend over 40 colleges, universities, businesses, industry, and military branches. We'll be on site to talk to students about opportunities. There will also be 2 financial aid scholarship sessions offered by McNeese at 6:15 and 7 o'clock. Now it's time to roll out our newest Meet the Teacher feature. This month we're introducing to you John Metoyer.
While he's not new to teaching, he's new to College Street this year and new to the commercial arts classroom. Meet Mr. Metoyer.
So I teach commercial art. In commercial art, we're going to use those skills you got in Art 1 and maybe Art 2 to figure out how we turn those creative skills into those financially lucrative pursuits, right? How do we translate that cool design into a t-shirt? When you run into somebody who needs a logo, how do we do that and make something that your client and you are both proud of? So if I wasn't a teacher, I'd probably just transition into finishing up the screen printing shop I've got in my garage and doing that professionally. So I became a teacher to pass on an environment and some opportunities that I had in high school. I was in Mr. Danos's photography class, and he had this great way of setting up an environment where we could kind of just explore creatively what we wanted to do. As long as I had something to turn in by Friday, he was happy. All right, so when I'm not at school, I've got a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. So there's lots of hanging out with them in the afternoons, taking the minivan across the country whenever I get the chance. After they're tucked in, I'll play some video games with some teacher friends of mine.
Welcome to College Street, Mr. Metoyer. Before we sign off, we have a student short film that's a common theme for some students, despite their best and maybe not so great efforts.
Check out Running Late by students Stephen Collins, James Broussard, and Joel Garland.
Looks like someone needs to get an alarm. That's a wrap for this edition of CPSB-TV.
Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to follow us on our social media sites.
See you next time.